do a countdown.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Creating Outside the Lens with Aubrey Barr. My name is Courtney Larson, and I am the director of Click Pro. Click Pro is the ones that are putting on this shindig here that you guys are all watching, maybe for the second time. Due to technical errors, we use Crowdcast as obviously our platform source here, and there was technical errors on their side, and they were unable to record the replay the first time around, and Aubrey very graciously said that she would put her face on the screen again. And so we have her back to host again for Creating Outside the Lens, and we're really excited to have her. But if you guys want to find out more information about Click Pro photographers, we actually host a lot of these different webinars, and a good majority of them are for pros only and live in what we call our advanced learning library. I had to think about that. And it's one of the perks of being a pro. You can find out more at clickprophotographers.com, and I can leave a link there for you guys, or go ahead and shoot me an email or leave a question for me, and I can definitely answer that. There's a few things I want to tell you guys ahead of time. There's a chat box over on the side. I'm going to say, hey, you can leave a comment, chat with each other. Whatever, all the good things over there. But if you do have a question, something you want Aubrey to answer, put that in the ask a question box, and I think you'll take those at the end, right?
Yeah, I think that works better. So
yeah. So drop them there, and she'll answer those at the end. You can also upvote the ask a question, which is really great. So if you see somebody that asked the same question as you, go ahead and hit upvote on that, and she'll know that it's super important, and there's a lot of people that want the answer to it. So those are two different things. And then also, I just want to make sure you guys are aware that there is a sale going on specific to this webinar only, and you can get $5 off the Photosphere or Prism, which Aubrey will talk about both of those. Do you talk about the Prism as well?
I will talk about Prism. Okay. I have something different, but I will talk about it and show some pictures. Cool. Yeah.
So she'll show you kind of what she's done with the Photosphere and Prism, which is half of what all the creative things that she does. But I want to make sure you guys are aware of those codes, and I can definitely email them to you guys later if you want to take advantage of those $5 off. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Aubrey, and I'll be here for technical support.
She knows I need it. The first time was a little rough. So now that I know how to work the computer and everything, I think we're going to be able to do just fine. Yeah, so you guys use the site and say hi, or make comments, or if you have something to add, for sure, add it for other people. I have no problem with you doing that, and it'll be a nice, helpful thing, because guess what? I forget a lot of things. Not all the time, but just sometimes, random things. Yes. Hey, girl. Is that my Miranda? Okay, let's get started. I don't even know who's really watching right now, but if you guys know me, I'm in Tampa, Florida. I love photography. I've been a Click Pro since January. I'm very, very creative, very artistic. My mom's an artist, my grandpa's an artist, and I just have been really drawn to different photos. And the way I describe it is, I feel like when you capture something, there's a feeling, there's an emotion associated with it. And I think sometimes that you can draw on that, you can make it better. That's what I feel like about with these tools I'll be showing you guys today. I feel like you can just take something and make it even more magical or even more emotive. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, awesome. So excited. I'm going to share my screen, and I will take you guys into Lightroom. Okay, so I think everyone can see my screen. Last time it didn't work so well. So I wanted to show you guys, start with showing you this image. This is taken with my copper tubing that I have. Actually, I'm going to go back for just a second and show you. Stop sharing. Okay, so this is my copper tube. It fits right in the palm of my hand, if you can see that. So a lot of times when people ask me like what it looks like, what size is it, I'm like, it fits in the palm size of my hand, because I'm not so good at like inches, or I mean, I think it's like an inch and a half, I don't know. Anyway, my husband's family owns an AC company, air conditioning, and he actually got this for me. It was free. It was a 5-finger discount. But I asked him, where can people get something like this? And he thinks maybe if you have like a local plumber or maybe an AC guy, you can find it there. But he doesn't think that they sell it at like a local Home Depot or anything like that. So if anyone has any pointers on where you can get it, please say. But maybe you should be nicer to your plumber and he'll get you one. But I wanted to show you kind of how I do it. I'm going to keep my lens cap on, and I always shoot with my Canon 6D, and this is a Sigma 35 that's been calibrated. It's very good. Uh-oh, my thing went out. Close. Sorry. Anyway, so I'm going to keep my cap on so I can show you. So I'll always do my settings first and make sure that I underexpose by a lot, because I'm going to be using more light than normal because I'm reflecting light off of this. And then I just kind of put my fingers on the outside rim of it. So that way I kind of have like a little any of my stuff. It's like the only thing I don't want to mess up. So when I shoot through it, I just kind of keep my fingers there. And then I'll just use, depending on where the sun's at, if I'm tilting up or down, I'll just kind of move my hand around and just kind of try to grasp that light. And there's different ways that you can do that. There's different types of light you can get from the copper tube and from pretty much everything. I'll show you. Some it'll be just like a little rim, and they call the Ring of Fire. And some will be like a lot of rims because it's actually kind of ribbed on the inside. And I would just say it's not completely smooth on the inside is what I'll say. And if you have something with a lot of lights, it'll catch in a lot of different areas. So let me pull up my Lightroom. Oh, I have to share my screen first. That's what Courtney told me. I'm remembering. Oh, your Home Depot sells copper piping that will cut for you. Okay, there you go, you guys. See, this is why I like other people too. So that's why I wanted to show this picture. Just so I can show that, let me move this out of the way. Wait a second. Here it is, sorry. Just so I can show that each light is adding a new layer. So that's the only reason why I'm sharing this photo. That is not that great. It's literally just Christmas lights. But if you can see that, that just kind of helps illustrate how this copper tube would work. And I have a couple from a client session I did. She was actually a model call, and not only that, but she really enjoyed my creative work. So she just let me do whatever I wanted, which was amazing. But I will say that I have done normal, like paid sessions, and make sure that I get everything I need. And then towards the end, just be like, yeah, I'm just going to play a little bit. I don't know if they'll like it, but it's for me, you know? But yeah, so you could see the sun's actually coming in and behind her hair there. It was probably like an hour before. I don't think it was right at sunset. We don't have any mountains or anything. Everything's really flat. But anyway, so it was coming in right here, and it just picked up so nicely all around her. And I have another one where I only did a Ring of Fire right here. Yeah. So this one, it's similar for sure, but I've kind of moved my spot over a little bit, and then I'm tilting the tube. Instead of being like direct on, I'm kind of tilting it like this. I'm being very like dramatic in how I'm showing you, because it's clearly like little movements where the lens is, but I'm just tilting it down just slightly like this, and it's catching this. And I did crop this. Like if I didn't crop it down, you would see it continue down. Let me show you with my mouse. It continues pretty far over here, but this is just what I wanted to do with that one. And I do it with black and white too. I loved this one. So I'm literally like taking, you know, I don't even want to say, but probably 60 pictures of her somewhere over here. And I'm just choosing like 3 or 4 that I really, really love. But that's kind of how it was with that. I was just kind of playing, just trying to see what I liked. This was another client session. I wanted to show you this one, not because I really, really loved it, I just thought it was okay, but honestly, I just really wanted to show how you can make this less bright, less like demanding. And that's because this was taken probably 3 hours before sunset. We were in trees, so it wasn't quite so bright there. It was a lot of like canopy of trees, but I was able to pick up some light. And so I did it, you know, and I was like, cross my fingers. Yeah, I don't think, I can't even remember if I even showed that to that client, but I thought it was cool because really you can do whatever you want with it. And, you know, that goes for editing too. You can edit it however you want. And then this one, of course, was, I believe, on the cover of, or whatever, the email that went out for this class. But this is on the trampoline in the back. The sunset's just behind this house. That's our neighbor's house. They literally have a house behind us, but it is whatever. But anyway, so I love how it came in just like that. And I just had it directly on the lens. So I'm shooting, I'm gonna do this. Let me close out and come back to here. Stop sharing. Okay, so when I'm shooting that, I'm direct on the sun. Like let's say the sun's right here. I'm shooting directly through this. And so you can't see any of the edges. And that's like if you're wanting that look. And you guys, that look is so beautiful. I don't know, I can't complain about it. I just think it's so awesome. Let me show you. Let me see if I have another one of those that I wanted to share. Yeah, okay. Let me come back. I'm not going to move on yet. Let me show you a couple more of those. How do you get your fingers in the, how do you not get your fingers in the shot? Now you're making sense, Miranda. You know what? That's a really good question because somebody local to me also had the same question and she kept showing me her pictures and she's like, dude, my finger's in there, my finger's in there. The thing is, there's a couple tricks. One is where you use the ring at. So like that last one that I showed, I'm going to talk while I'm showing you this. Let me go back to that last one. Okay, so this one, well, okay, A, it's darker. B, I did not Photoshop out any of my finger from here. It literally was not there. One, I think that I had one here where there's that bright sun and then one here. And this was literally, I didn't crop this down at all. That's just how I took the picture where it just kind of came off the edge here. So you can't see it there. Let me see if I can find another one that I think I might have cropped. No, I definitely didn't. Here's the thing. If you're shooting with the rings coming out this far, you're probably not going to get your finger anyway for those ones. This one, same thing. I kind of came off a little bit. So it's all in how you move it a little bit. Now, my copper tube is always super duper close to my lens. Like I said, the only thing that's between us is just the edge of my finger. And so if it's like that, then that reflection of the light is really going to be over here. You'll hardly see anything. I get maybe, let's say maybe 20% of my pictures. Like if I go out and shoot with this and I come back in, there's maybe 20% of my pictures that have my finger in it. So have you tried, my question is, have you tried it yet? Have you, yeah, of course. But have you tried it? Because you'd be surprised how moving around just a little bit will make it so you can't see your finger so well. And again, that reflection from that light is also going to take up some of that. Oh, you haven't tried it yet. My words are kind of not so great. Take away from that. But basically what I'm saying is that light reflecting out, you can't see it. Oh, look, let me show you this. This is one of them. A client of mine that did a senior session with me. And again, I just got to play at the end. And this one for sure, I just used it on the side. So because I used it on the side here and used the ring on the side, you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. If my finger was right here, that light is going to take out some of it anyway. But a lot of times it is just where you're positioning. By the way, I love this, and I need a copper ring. No, you need to get one. You need to get one and play with it because you have amazing work and you'll be happy with what. Sorry, you guys, if you're watching this later, she's saying, I need a copper ring. I was just curious. I know you're not going to be able to see that if you watch this later, so I'll be like talking to myself, but I do that. But anyway, this is a print of something like that. And this is a print of something like that. I wanted to show these so you guys know that this kind of work, this kind of pictures, you can definitely print them. They're definitely like gorgeous pieces of art. They're not just for Instagram. They're not just for Facebook. I have prints of these and I love them. So I just wanted to show you that. Oh, I wanted to show you the ribbing too. Yeah, I love that black and white too. No problem. No problem. Let me go back and show. Okay, so since I'm here, let me show you my prism. This is not the prism that you can get. Oh, thanks, Miranda. This is not the prism that you can get from the Click and Store. This is a different one. It's called a ring prism. I believe it's a ring prism ornament when I looked on eBay. My friend Shannon O'Malley, she originally showed me this and I was like, what? Send me the link. So I was super excited because she has amazing work and I was like, wow, I'm blown away with how cool this could look on pictures. And just knowing that there's like more to learn. Oh, it's so exciting. So I got this from eBay for like $9. And then I pulled up eBay and went to the seller, couldn't find it. And I just searched ring prism ornament and I found them again. So now I have like 3 just in case. But it's very easy to find and it's very inexpensive. So, but it comes from China, so it might take a while to get there. So yeah, so same thing with this one. I always have that little rim of a finger, just kind of keeping it just far enough away from my camera that it's okay. It doesn't scratch anything. And then I just kind of use the light wherever it may be to create a prism look. It can go from being like this elegant, like crazy, you know, colors all over the place, because there's a lot of dimensions in here, if you could see that. I mean, you really could do a lot with this. Or it could just be like this soft kind of, yeah, just kind of like a soft rim around the pictures. I'll show you what I mean when I pull it up. But again, it has to do with if you're shooting towards the light or if you're just using that light in the picture. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because I took some in the forest that turned out really super cool. Let me show you. We'll go back to my Lightroom. Okay. Oh, that's Aspen. That's my daughter. I was just showing here. I was sharing this one because I wanted you guys to see how it's picking up on the light in either direction. This was that copper tube again. So, but let me go ahead. Not you. Not that print, by the way. Okay. So these are my soft focus with the prism. So between this one, see how you can kind of tell that there's just like this fogginess that's happening around here? It's because there was no sun that day, which literally happens like 2 days a year here in the sunshine state of Florida. But can you tell I'm not that excited about that? But anyway, but you can see it's just kind of like this cloudy kind. It's kind of like just another dimension. And I like it. I really do. And I've had some fun shots with that. But you can use it any way you want. And honestly, in this one, not only was it cloudy, but the sun was behind my house and I was in front of my house shooting away from it. So, so yeah, I kind of liked that. It's just a little bit different. And the same with these. I just wanted to show you how that would work. See, okay, this is like harsh light. The sun is right above her eyes, which is why she does not want to look at me. She might even be mad at me. Yes, she is dirty. She's on a trampoline. So she's laying on the trampoline like, Mom, why are we taking pictures? And she cannot look at me. And then you can see kind of around the outside, this is the prism effect that I used. So, I mean, I am on something that's black, that's not reflecting any light. So it's really just kind of like this fun, foggy, kind of mysterious situation that's happening. For sure, if this was a white, like maybe if she was on concrete, like a sidewalk or something, I would probably get much more out of it. But yeah, this was just the trampoline. So I actually really liked that one, but this one you could see, she was like, I can't look at you right now, Mom. But again, that's just kind of what it would look like. So sun above, shooting down onto something that's black. So for that one, for sure, I didn't have to change my settings too much from a normal day. Okay, so you can kind of see we've got like some rainbow kind of stripes down here. Those are all from the prism, and then this kind of like foggy situation. And if you look here, this is actually kind of cool. I didn't do anything to this. This is just kind of, I bet my face is so big on the camera right now because I'm leaning forward. Anyway, but that's just kind of what the prism picked up from the sun there. I think it's pretty cool, but yeah, for sure. Now, for edits, like in post, you would definitely have to come in here and probably change this up, or you might have to do a little bit more things than you would normally want to do. But I just think that in a normal, following your normal editing and stuff, you can really do so many amazing things with the prism. Now the one at the store, let me show you this one. Okay. So this is the same thing. It's like the same moment, same time of day. The sun's over here now because we've moved over a little bit, but I got a ton in this one. And I love this, and I love it like this too. I love it like this. I don't want all of my pictures to look like that. It's certainly not the only thing I want to do. So I'll take a few and then I'll be like, okay, great. I feel good now. And then I'll have completely like normal ones of them interacting without any of that. And I just love having like the different variations just based off pulling something out of my backpack. All of my stuff here that I'm showing you guys today, I take with me to every session, just in case I need it. You just never know when you might need that, right? Okay, perfect. I was just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so then let me see here. And okay, so this is super low. The sun is way over here, and I'm just catching a little bit of some reflection from the prism down here. I thought it was kind of fun. I really liked this one in black and white. I love color, but I definitely do a lot of black and white too. So I thought that was a lot of fun. This next one was actually taken. Oh, let me show you. Okay, so I joke about this. Stop sharing. I joke about this all the time because I don't know. It's just funny. I just laugh at myself. But anyway, my husband. Okay, let me back up. When I first found out that people were using prisms, I was like, oh man, I need to get one. But I didn't really want to buy it for most things. I don't like buying things unless I think I'll like it. And this was before I got into all this other stuff. My friend Shannon showed me hers, and it was like this big triangle. And I was like, I have something in the house like that. It's one of my husband's golf trophies. So I just took it like this, and I would just shoot. It's actually kind of funny because it has like a handle. He never uses it. Like, he didn't even notice I was using it. But I'll just shoot like usually like this and kind of get the glare off the top. You can't see any of this etching or anything like that in the shots because, again, that light is so reflective that you really can't see it. So I'll just shoot kind of like this. And I don't get so close with this. I don't need to. And you'll probably find that too with when you buy, or if you already have one of the triangle prisms that Clickstore has. You don't need to go close with these. You can just add a little bit off to the side or a little bit on the whatever you want to do, but you really don't need them that close to the lens to get the cool effect. So anyway, I thought that was funny. So it's whatever. So every now and then I'll just go take this from over there. I'm telling you, he doesn't even know. He's like, that's mine. I'm like, yeah, it's yours. It has your name on it. But anyway, so let me show you what that looks like. Screen share. That is this one. So it's kind of funny. I don't know. So yeah, and she's on the trampoline. You guys will find that I often, in most of my pictures, just pretty much follow her wherever she's going. And that could be the trampoline. you know? I'm like, okay, I'm just there to document with fun stuff. So I was literally like with the camera here and just tilting it slightly. And it just picked up, you can see like kind of ribbing and kind of other fun stuff. It didn't mess with the color of her skin, which I like. Usually if something messes with the color of the skin, I'll go back and just try to fix it however I need to. But yeah, so it's just kind of fun, just kind of like a good moment, I guess. This one is a self-portrait I took. I think the theme was rainbows, and so I stuck my prism in the window on my door and just took a picture that way. It worked, you know. But you can definitely use it for other things. I mean, you don't have to shoot direct if you don't want to. Always, I think, just get creative. Just do whatever you want to try and see what happens, you know, and learn from it as you go. These next ones are my favorite. I have favorites. I did this with my friend Miranda has a traveling dress group, and we, when I got the dress, I took Aspen to this wooded area that's not far from my house. There's some trails out there. So it is later on in the day, but because there's so much palms and cypress trees and oaks, that it kind of is darker in there than it would be. So I just love like this enchanted feel. And most of the pictures I took of her that day are of me like behind her, because she's literally just walking around having the time of her life. She could care less that I have a camera and I'm following her around. But I kind of liked how up here, and you'll see this in a couple more, this is all the prism. Now I did change the tint of it. I made it a tad more yellow. I brought in the yellows a bit. But that fogginess kind of coming in like that, that is all prism. That was not anything else. Actually, I think literally what I did was, what's this guy called here? Somebody tell me. But I came in and I applied that all in here like this to make sure that where the prism set, it was a little bit more yellow and brought out those colors. But all of this kind of foggy, kind of just different mysterious looking shapes, that's all from the prism. So that was a lot of fun. And again here, I love this picture. And yeah. So anyway, this here is the same thing. The sun's not right there. And that's not added by me, like, you know, a sun. That's just the prism. That's just the way the prism look. And if I lighten this up, you would see around the edges a little bit more. But I kind of like that it made her kind of in this spotlight. So I just kept it there. I don't know. I just tend to do what I feel like, I guess, in the nicest way. Here we go. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, I forgot to remove her tattoo. That's from Star Wars. It's very important. So maybe it's better off that way. Okay, here we go. So this is a little more fun. You can see that where we're at, there's like less trees, more lights coming in behind us. And because of that, I was able to create more of this effect. But for sure, I was holding the prism on this one and I was going like this. You can see that. And I was actually trying to catch those. So I did a few shots like that and I let her turn and do whatever she wants. And I'm just patiently waiting till I get that right one. I wish there was more of a science to it than that. And there is, but I'm just more of like not into science. So, but that's how it works. And I definitely love it. Again, I like to have a little bit of everything. I like to have where it's like super dramatic. And then I like to have where it's kind of more chill and more peaceful. And I, depending on my mood, will go towards either one. I think I have, yeah, this is another one where we were back in that same area. So there is some opening here, but for sure, I'm just making sure I get a little bit. And I want you to notice too, you can kind of see it here. Actually, I think it's less noticeable when I zoom in for some reason. But you can kind of see that there's like some ribbing happening here. And that's literally just the shapes. It's just the shapes going around the prism that just creates this fun. I call it ribbing. I don't know what it's called, but can you guys see that? If you follow those lines, you can just see like a little ribbing. I mean, you know, tell me if there's a better word. But that's what I like. Let's see. Okay, and then again, this one is a lot more. I like this one because I like that her hair was moving and she was kind of into the moment. She was actually running and I was behind a tree and I just shot when she went by. So it was like, you know, but I did get a lot of fun stuff in here. So that's fun. Let me go back. That's the last of the prism ones I have. Yeah, girl. Do you BBF at the same time? Back button focus. I do. Sorry, Amy, that took a minute. So she's asking if I back button focus, and I do. I switched to that probably a year and a half ago, and I'm such a routine person that I probably wouldn't even think to do it any other way at this point unless someone told me another way works better, and then I would be like 100% in that. I don't like to confuse myself, so, but yes, I do, and I do fine with it. The only thing I will say with the settings is that just remember that when you're using these kind of things, you're getting that reflective light. So you definitely need to change your settings underexposed even more if you already underexposed like I do, just to make sure that you're not overexposing, because once you overexpose using these reflective tools, you know, I mean, you guys know your picture, maybe it's trash. You know what I mean? What lens is best to use? Natalia asked what lens is best to use. I have used it. I've used all of these with both of my lenses. I only have, no, I have three. I have three lenses right now. I'm very minimalist. But because I am so used to the 35 millimeter and I'm used to the weight, and that's like my everyday lens, if you will, I definitely use that more. But I have used it with my 85 1.2. I have a Canon 85 1.2. And it's gorgeous. It's insane. But it's a little bit longer. Not that long. This looks really long. But it's a bit longer and fatter. And I can still do it just fine. So I feel like there's definitely a lot of practice involved with just feeling what it, you know, what the weight's like and the movement is. But you can use it with anything. The only thing I don't really use it that often is with my Nifty 50, my 50 millimeter 1.8. Canon, and that's because I pretty much only use that when I freelance. So yeah, that one's really small. You could easily do it with that one too. So I hope that helps, Natalia. I would just recommend that you try it. Again, remember to shield your lens with your fingers just to make sure you're not gonna scratch anything. But I would just suggest trying it and see what it looks like, and then just go with whatever you think is best. But for sure, my 35 millimeter is great for that. Okay, so now you're welcome. So now we're going to talk about the photosphere. You guys, I have to say that it's really funny when you take a picture with this, because you have to remember that your whole hand or parts of your hand are going to be in the picture, because some of mine I'm like or something ridiculous. It's just, so yeah. So let me show you what this one looks like. With my 35 millimeter, this one, you can't have it really close to your lens. I guess you could if you already focused and you wanted to put it in front. I don't know that it would really be a sharp focus at that point. So I really haven't done it like that. So I'm hoping my screen will show, but I'm usually about this. Let me do this. I'm usually about this far away when I'm using the photosphere. And I've taken it out in harsh light. I've taken it out in the evening time. Yep, I have quite a few times, but I really want to take it out in harsh light to see, okay, what's the big difference? Can I make this happen? Can I make this work? Because I like to shoot at all times. I mean, I don't want to limit myself to what hour, the golden hour, you know, I love golden hour, but I'm just saying, I don't want to have that limitation. So I'll show you some pictures of me taking this out. It's not light. It's not that heavy. If you're used to carrying a camera, you can definitely handle both. It's lighter than the camera, and that 35 millimeter is heavy. So, but yeah, one thing that I do want to say is when I took this out, it's so funny because you can see when you hold it in your hand, you can see that there's light. Can you see that right there? See how there's light reflecting here? Excuse me. So I took this out like in harsh light, and I thought, oh my gosh, there's some light here. You guys, I thought there was an ant biting my finger, like a fire ant, because that's what we have. That's like our main predator here in Florida. I thought there was a fire ant biting my finger, and I'm like, what? There was nothing there. It was the harsh light coming in because I was just holding it instead of moving around or instead of taking the picture and, you know, moving position or something. I was just holding it, and I literally was like burning there. You guys, it's all science, right? My daughter knows about this. I don't know about this. But you just be careful. Just, you know, remember that because it does reflect light. That's why we love it so much. I love this thing. I've only had it for a few weeks. I've been playing with it. My daughter really likes it. I've got some cool pictures of her just holding it. Let me just show you some of, so don't forget, and if you're joining us late, if you scroll all the way to the top of this thread, yep, all the way to the top, there's 2 links, one for the Photosphere and one for the Prism, and there's a code to get $5 off. So, so yeah. I don't know, Courtney, I don't know if people watching this later will see that or if they even have access to it. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to show them, but okay. So let me go to screen share and we'll look at some of these photos here. Okay. So here we go. Here's my claw. My claw, the hand. So and you guys can still see me right there, so I'm just gonna continue. So I'm holding this, I'm taking a picture, and then in post editing, I've flipped it around. Now, you don't have to flip anything around, okay? If you wanna keep it upside down or whatever, technically right side up, that's totally your choice. When I was editing, I just felt like a lot of these looked better flipped upside down, so I went with it. Obviously, it's pretty easy to see what's going on past the ball, past my fingers, because it's all right there. So the green is clearly just the grass, which is nice. And then Aspen, she was running, but I thought she was so cute. I kind of like it when she runs, but let me see what else we have here. And then she was holding it here. I like this one because the light was like kind of behind us right here. And so when she was looking into it, it wasn't hurting or anything. It was a low light, but it was reflecting off her eye really cool. So I'm like, let me just take a picture of that. And you can kind of see that there's more light here, like in the upper part of her head and her eye than there is down here. And I didn't change that because I kind of wanted to show what was going on there. But yeah, so that was super cool. She thinks it's like this magical ball. It's the cutest thing ever. I love it. And then this, you guys, this is an unintentional self-portrait. See, that's me right there. That's exactly what I look like when I do this. Now you know. I'm telling the truth. But it's funny because I was like, oh, that's me. And I do self-portrait every Sunday with a group of photographers. And I'm like, it's done. Not yet, but I probably will. But I did like it in black and white. And it's, you know, I really, really like how it's just kind of fun and mysterious and dreamy. And every time people comment on that, they always say stuff like, oh, it's dreamy. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great word. I love dreamy. And then Aspen, she was just kind of holding it up. Again, the sun is down here and it's right before sunset. And it's actually going behind the house behind me. So it's really not too bright. But she's just holding it up. And I thought it was kind of cool seeing the trees. Isn't that kind of cool? You can kind of see the trees come through. I love it. That's a lot of fun. I really think everyone should get one of these and just kind of play with it. And they're really not that expensive anyway. The only thing is it is, you know, somewhat heavy. So you just have to plan ahead what you'll put it in. All of my stuff fits in my bag. If you guys want to see how I carry everything around, just let me know and I'll show you when I'm done. So this one, same thing. So you can kind of see how that light comes through. This wasn't bothering me at all this day because it was a little bit lower, but you can see kind of what's happening. So the sun's coming in, it's reflecting, but this is actually where it's coming in right here. And then those are paper airplanes. She and her dad made paper airplanes and then she stood on a dirt pile and played with them. And I'm like, this is awesome. So mostly you can see the green around here, but that is, if you really look at it, if I were to turn this upside down, this is the dirt pile there's her legs, here's her skirt, her uniform skirt. So she's actually like that, if that makes sense. You guys tell me if that doesn't make sense, but I'm just trying to show you kind of how the orientation is. And then I, of course, flipped it. But I do like how it caught the sky, it caught everything. I mean, it even caught this fun little bouquet, lonely bouquet, which is cool. I'll take it. What's this one? Oh yeah, so same thing. I just kind of like the different look of it. So, and then black and white. And this one is definitely lighter. We're getting a lot more light coming in here. Let me see. I think I added another. I wanted to show, yes, no. Oh, you know what I did with this one? I even flipped it around. I rotated it horizontally just for fun, but she's throwing a pile of dirt. So I thought that was kind of cool because you can still see it. What are my settings on this one? 2.8, 35 millimeter, 2.8, and then 1/1250 of a second. So yeah, so you can see she's throwing this dirt here. I just thought it was kind of added a new dimension to it. And then there she is. I don't know. I like it. Okay, so this is just me holding it out, and I'm like laughing so hard at my thumb. I just feel like it's like, hey, I'm a thumb, you know? But it's whatever. But I did like how the light came in and how there was like these two reflective spots here. And you can see that even the sunlight's coming behind her like that. It was just a beautiful sunset. So yeah, I kind of like that, and I just kept it upside down because I thought it was kind of cool. It's like the world in your hand. The world is in your fingertips. And then again here, like most people wouldn't notice this probably, but those are her hands. Those are her hands digging in this. We thought it was dirt. It was sand. It's Florida dirt. What can I say? But yeah, so that was just kind of fun. Oh, there's my Bella. She's a husky. She's got one brown eye, one blue. And she wasn't moving. She was just hanging out under the trampoline because it was hot that day. So I'm like, let me take pictures of you, Bella. Again, I just felt like I should turn it around because a dog flying like upside down, I don't know. You know, you get to choose. Let me come back. The code is only good for 1 week, she says. Okay, cool. Let me show you my next one. Oh, you know what? The next photo I had in there is using my iPhone. So I know this is like kind of a trendy thing. Some of these things are kind of like, oh my gosh, I need 2 fingers for that, trendy. But anyway, I like them. I don't care. Like, I'll just do it. Well, I went to this birth it was long and it was amazing, but it was just long. So I got a lot of pictures, and then I felt comfortable to get out my other stuff and just kind of play with it. And she did a family session with me before. So she was like, cool, man, whatever. We're like best friends because I was there for her birth. So your iPhone, and I have a case on this, but it doesn't matter. And I think you can use other phones probably, but this is just super flat here. And I can see just from here with my door being open, I could see the reflection come in off of it. But yeah, so I just have it kind of like this. And this one for sure, Miranda, be careful of your fingers, because if you do this like that, it doesn't work. It looks awful. So I kind of do like this. Does that make sense? So I have the thumb out, but my camera's going to be here. And then I just kind of do this. And you could do it this way too. I've done it both ways. So using my actual face of my phone and like this. And it just creates like, it's just like a reflection. It's just like a puddle would be or something like that. So let me kind of show you, what that looks like. Here we go. Yeah, so it's just like reflecting above her, but it's just kind of fun, you know, it just kind of adds like this, oh, what is going on there, you know? Kind of looks like a windowsill or something. Okay, and then this one is also, my phone. So to me, like in this situation, I'm reflecting the sky, which is clearly blue. So it's, you know, very blue down here. And it kind of looks like a puddle. It kind of looks like they're like on the edge of some puddle or something, but it's not. It's just my phone. So I thought that was kind of fun. There's my Bella with Aspen again. Let's see, this one. Okay, so I'm just going through a couple things that I use sometimes for shots. This is actually a CD. Before I show you how I do it, let me show you the difference here. Because this is like, so when I use my phone, there's kind of like this abrupt edge that happens. You guys see that? But then when I use my CD, it's kind of more fluid, I guess. So there's like even reflections that come out past where you think it would be because it's, you know, it's getting the sun. So I kind of like that. It's just cool. But these are just the trees right above her, you know? So let me show you what that kind of, let's see. Actually, let me show you the other two that I have with the CD, or the other one. Let's see. This I did at a styled shoot, like a local one. It was at the beach, like a styled wedding. I just went with some of my photographer friends. It was awesome. It was fun and different for me, but I'm sure they thought I was weird when I pulled out my CD so I could take this picture. I really like this because with the CD, it's a little bit rounder. So you can kind of see like the roundness happening. And it almost kind of makes this like continuous edge. And that's because the blue sky meeting the water, obviously, and that CD just being right there. I love the way it turns out. I mean, you can play with it however you want to. For sure, yeah. So I was at the beach. So I was at 1/4000th of a second, and I was only ISO 100. But man, I did not get away from that 1.4 aperture. I love that. I'm a sucker for it. Let me come back over here. Stop sharing. That's beautiful. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, so first you need an Aerosmith CD. Step one. Just kidding. You don't really need Aerosmith. I just happen to have like a billion Aerosmith CDs. But anyway, you can put your finger through here, and you might come across a couple problems because you don't want a finger like hanging out in your CD. So I recommend using a CD that either you have more than one of or you don't care for anymore. I mean, a lot of us don't even use CDs anymore. Who are we kidding? We have a lot. So anyway, so what I'll do is I'll like kind of position it, and depending on what I'm doing, I'll either take my finger out and I'll just be holding it like this and shoot. Now I'm not going to be like dipping low. I mean, I can, but it might be scary. So, so you have to be really careful, but you can get a lot of pretty shots just shooting straight on like that. If anyone else has any other ideas, please tell me. Oh, thanks, Monica. I've also used it on the side before. I've also shot like this, depending on what I'm looking at. Like if I have Aspen where she's kind of on one end of the frame, which Courtney can attest to this, I really like using all of my frame. Sometimes a little too much. I got someone way on the side. I might just creep this in a little bit. And I thought I had one to share that was like that, but I must not have. I must have forgot it. But so I'll use it like this even. And then if you really want to keep your finger there, you could just tilt it up like this while you're shooting. And again, your back button focusing on the subject already, and then you're creeping this in like a creep. Just kind of tilting a little bit. You'll find with this one, it reflects so much and it kind of shoots up like that. Again, you have to have your ISO low, but you'll find that it'll create a lot of drama in just that little tilt. Whereas the iPhone, you're kind of just creating reflection with a little bit of light. And this one, you're really, really getting it done. So yeah, I know it's a little funny. Oh, she's laughing at my jokes. Oh, I'm so funny. I have also a sandwich bag that I forgot to bring to my table, and I'm not going to leave you guys to go get it. Maybe I should leave you guys to go get it. No, I won't. I know you know what a sandwich bag looks like. So you can take a sandwich bag. Okay, let me grab it. It's right here. Okay. Sorry, guys. was nice to get up and stretch a little though. But you know, I'm not good at describing things, so I just got it out. So I'll just keep my cover on. So I'll take a sandwich bag and just kind of play around with it. And depending on if you're inside or outside, you can do either. It just will reflect. Like, see how I just automatically put that on and there's like little crevices here? So in those areas, you're going to collect more shininess, more light, more, sometimes it looks kind of crinkly depending on if it's flat light where you're at or if it's coming in from an angle. So this is, again, is all about playing and all about trying to find what you like. This is definitely going to create more of a soft focus, which I like. I love sharp focus, but if I want to play sometimes, yeah, I like this soft focus too. I've done quite a few self-portraits where I just have this on my tripod, find a focus, usually like this, then put it on, and then take a picture. And a lot of times it'll just look softer, but it doesn't look like you missed focus completely. It just looks softer. So let me kind of show you what. Now, I will say in the last time we did this last Tuesday, yeah, somebody said that they also used coconut oil, or I've heard Vaseline, using Vaseline on the bag, not on your lens, and shooting through that, which I think would be really, really cool. I just don't like getting like that. I hate Vaseline. So that's really not going to be something I'm going to do, but you guys should try that. Let me show you what that kind of looks like with the bag. I don't know if it was the next one I was going to do. It's a little bit further. Here we go. So this is kind of like that soft portrait I did with Aspen. And there's a window. So, okay, there's another reason why I'm showing you this one. There's a window here, and then on the other side, there's a window here. So look at how it looks with the light. And you can kind of see why it would be tempting to do that in other places. This is actually in my shed. And it's, you know, it is what it is, but I really like how it catches that light. So I think in a certain environment outside, it would be very, very cool to take. Let's see. And then I have, okay, so like this was literally at a museum in Tampa. They had a huge, it wasn't a prism. I guess it was a prism, but it wasn't a trophy either. But it was like this huge glass thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was made for me to take a picture through it. Like they put this here so I would come here and take a picture through it. And it looks crazy, but I like it. It's cool. It's different. Like you wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, I know what that is. Nobody knows what that is. I'm just telling you. It's a really large trophy. And then this one I shot for a dancer. She's so cute. I used my lights. I got these from Amazon. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. I use it sometimes. I don't know, it just creates, again, like some bokeh, some fun. I just stick it right next to the camera. Instead of like putting it around someone's body or something, I just put it right next to, which I think it's fun. She really, really loved that picture, that one. Let's see. Okay, so interesting enough, this one is my Facebook profile. That's actually my hand. So just to add some dimension, I just have one or two more that I want to show you guys. We're closing up pretty soon here. So if you have any questions, put them in there, okay, and I'll check it. But I wanted to show you these. These were taken, again, in my trampoline. And there was, I put Dawn dish soap in there, and we had a hose coming up the bottom. And so there was just like, oh my gosh, so much light, so much fun happening. I was like dying that day. I took like 100 pictures that I seriously love them all, but I know I can't share them all because people probably think they're all the same, but they're so cool. So anyway, so that's what all the bokeh is. And then I even got like a little bit of a rainbow effect in there. And then this one, you could even see like the suds happening. And you can see this rimming here too. This is just from the screen on the trampoline. That's not anything else that I use. So I just used the soap, and man, she thought I was the coolest mom that day. I don't know if I could live up to that all the time, but that was pretty exciting. And Oh, and this one was also a CD. I just had it in the back for some reason, but isn't that kind of cool? It's just kind of, you know, reflective. Let me see. Stop sharing. Okay, this has been so awesome. Thank you so much. No problem, Amy. I don't see any. Yes, there was one question, but Courtney already answered that one. It was just about the replay. So the replay will be available. And I think that's about it. I don't know, Courtney, do you want to get on and say goodbye, or should I wrap this up? Did you guys have fun looking at me the whole time? I was kind of happy because last week I didn't. Today I don't look that great either, but it's cool, man. Okay. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for your comments. Oh, my favorite. Oh, thank you, Kat. She said this has been amazing. Love to shoot through things. There's like, it's either there or it's not there. I personally love it too. What's your favorite lens? Thank you. It's probably my Sigma 35mm right now. That is subject to change. We will see. It has been calibrated too, so the focus is good. Oh, you're gorgeous. Thank you, Kat. Thanks, Stacy. All right, guys, I'm gonna close this up. Thank you again. Oh, if you do have any more questions, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I could probably answer them for you. All right.